Over 100 million cans of sardines get sold in America every year. That's a $1.2 billion industry built on a tin of fish most people grab off the grocery store shelf without thinking twice. But some of those tins have been recalled for carrying one of the deadliest bacterial toxins on Earth. And one brand that markets itself as premium health food tested positive for arsenic. I'm Nathan Cross, and today we're calling out 7 canned sardine brands you need to stop buying and naming 4 that are actually worth your money. Cloverleaf has been one of Canada's most trusted sardine brands since 1892. Over a century of cold water Atlantic fish, honest pricing, and a reputation built on reliability. Their plain sardines in olive oil are genuinely decent. Firm texture, clean flavor, and a price that makes omega-3 protein accessible to most families. But when Cloverleaf expanded into flavored varieties, their food safety systems collapsed. In 2021, over 20,000 cans of their garlic chive and smoked jalapeno sardines were recalled for Clostridium botulinum contamination. That's the bacterium behind botulism, a neurotoxin that triggers muscle paralysis and respiratory failure and can kill a person in under 24 hours. The recalled cans looked perfectly normal on the shelf. Customers had zero warning. 130 years of trust, and they put it all on the line for flavored tins they couldn't produce safely. John West has been Britain's go-to sardine brand since 1857, a genuine pioneer in sustainable fishing with boneless sardines that justified every penny of the premium price tag. Clean flavors, proper texture, and a reputation built over generations of British kitchens. Then, in 2022, the UK Food Standards Agency recalled their boneless sardines for microbiological contamination. Customers had already purchased and eaten contaminated cans before the recall went out. The symptoms include stomach cramps, vomiting, and diarrhea, which is especially dangerous for older adults and anyone taking heart medication. And those are the exact demographics eating sardines most often. John West had decades of legitimate credibility as Britain's premium sardine producer, and they let contaminated fish reach kitchen tables before telling anyone. Al Rashid fills a real gap in the market. Budget sardines priced under $1 per tin, giving families who can't afford premium options a way to get their omega-3 fatty acids and protein. Same nutrition on the label, just without the fancy branding. So when the FDA recalled Al Rashid sardines in 2016 for Clostridium botulinum, it was a nightmare for the exact customers who had the fewest alternatives. These are the families stretching every grocery dollar, buying sardines because the protein percent math makes sense, and the product they trusted was potentially lethal. Spoiled tins had metallic sour odors and oil with a visible rancid sheen. Botulism is rare, but when it hits, it shuts down your ability to breathe and requires emergency medical intervention within hours. Al Rashid built their entire brand on being the affordable option, and they hit that low price point by cutting safety corners that could put people in the ground. Beachcliff is the sardine you find at Walmart, Kroger, and dollar stores across America. Domestic, affordable, and positioned as the working-class alternative to pricey European imports. For a lot of shoppers, Beachcliff is their introduction to sardines. But in 2010, the company recalled over 20,000 cases because the cans themselves were defective. Loose seams created gaps where bacteria could enter the tin, including potential botulism. When your canning process is so flawed that the container is the contamination source, that's not a bad batch. That's a manufacturing breakdown. Customer reviews consistently describe metallic odors, mushy gray fish, and oil that looks like motor grease. The sodium content exceeds 400 milligrams per serving, which is dangerous for anyone managing blood pressure on medication. Beachcliff sells sardines that would fail inspection in most European countries. This one caught us off guard. Wild Planet is the sustainability leader in the sardine industry. Clean labeling, wild-caught fish, no additives, and environmental certifications that health-conscious shoppers pay a premium for. Everything about the brand says clean eating. Then, independent laboratory testing found arsenic levels in Wild Planet sardines exceeding 100 micrograms per 85-gram serving. Arsenic is a heavy metal that builds up in your kidneys and liver over time, and it's especially harmful for older adults and people on heart medications. Under European food safety standards, Wild Planet sardines would be classified as contaminated. But the FDA allows higher arsenic thresholds, so these tins keep selling at premium prices with a clean label in every Whole Foods in the country. People paying $8 a tin for health food deserve to know what's actually in it. The whole selling point of Wild Planet is that you're paying for cleaner, safer fish. When the fish contains arsenic at levels stricter countries refuse to allow, that selling point falls apart. Grandma Sardines shows up in ethnic grocery stores and corner shops with old-fashioned packaging and family imagery that suggests traditional quality at low prices. The branding is warm, the price is right. But many Grandma Sardines tins lack FDA approval, inspection records, or basic traceability. No batch numbers, no lot codes, no country of origin printed on the label. If contamination hits, there's no way to trace those sardines back to a processing facility or a fishing vessel. Online reviews consistently report dented cans, strange chemical odors, gray, slimy fish, and oil leaking through the seams. Seniors who are most vulnerable to foodborne illness are eating sardines with zero safety documentation. When a canned food product is completely untraceable, someone made a choice to skip the safeguards. The last one on this list is not a single brand. It's a warning about the unbranded bulk sardine imports flooding discount shelves and dollar store bins. Generic tins with no company name, no traceable origin, and olive oil labels that are often outright false. A 2018 UC Davis study tested imported olive oils sold in the United States and found that 69% failed basic purity tests. Those bottles contained soybean or sunflower oil blends instead of what the label promised. Sardine oils get even less regulatory scrutiny than bottled cooking oil. The rancid blends create a plasticky, burnt taste while potentially triggering digestive inflammation. If the tin has no brand name on it, there is a reason nobody wanted their name attached. If you're tired of guessing every time you crack open a tin of sardines, hit subscribe. The brands that actually get it right are coming up now. Season brand is the sardine most people walk past, and that's a mistake. These are wild-caught fish from the coast of Morocco, packed in genuine olive oil with none of the rancid filler blends hiding in bulk imports. The sardines are firm, properly cleaned, and consistently free of the metallic chemical smell that cheap tins are known for. What makes Season stand out first is the price. At around $2 to $3 per tin, they deliver real quality without the premium markup of European artisan labels. You can find them at most major grocery chains, so you don't need a specialty food shop to eat sardines that pass basic safety standards. The oil is real, the sodium is reasonable, and the fish tastes like fish. Season proves you don't need to spend $8 a can to get sardines packed with integrity. King Oscar has been Norway's sardine standard since 1902, and their fish come from cold North Atlantic waters processed under European Union food safety regulations that are significantly stricter than what the FDA enforces. Every tin carries batch traceable codes. The olive oil is genuine and fresh. The sodium stays at levels that won't spike your blood pressure. Open a King Oscar tin, and the difference is immediate. The sardines are properly formed, carefully cleaned, and packed with visible care instead of crammed in sideways. The olive oil smells like actual olive oil, not the rancid chemical odor that leaks out of bargain brands. At $3 to $4 per tin, you're paying a small premium. But you're paying for safety standards that have actually been enforced by European regulators, not just printed on the label. Patagonia Provisions builds sardines on a philosophy that most companies in this industry have never considered. Their fish come from specific documented fishing grounds with full supply chain traceability. From the boat that pulled them out of the water to the facility that sealed the tin, every step is on record. So when a quality issue comes up, Patagonia can trace it back to the exact source instead of issuing a vague recall notice and hoping the problem goes away. Taste reviews consistently put Patagonia near the top. Thick fillets, fresh extra virgin olive oil, and clean flavors with no metallic or chemical aftertaste. The sodium content runs lower than most competitors, which matters if you're watching your blood pressure. These tins cost more than average, but you're buying accountability with a verifiable paper trail, not just a label promising quality it can't prove. Every other brand on the avoid list could have prevented their recall if they had this kind of tracking. Most of them chose not to invest in it. Ortiz has been producing sardines in Spain since 1891, and they handle every single tin like the fish inside it matters. Each sardine is hand-selected, individually inspected, and arranged in genuine Spanish extra virgin olive oil that's often better quality than what most people keep in their own pantry at home. Open an Ortiz tin, and the gap between these and everything else on this list is obvious. Firm, intact fish, clean, rich flavor, and a visual presentation that makes discount sardines look like they were packed blindfolded. Ortiz runs batch tracking and quality protocols across every product line, and the consistency holds up tin after tin. At $8 to $12 each, these are the most expensive sardines we covered today. But Ortiz is proof that canned fish can be something you genuinely look forward to eating instead of something you choke down because the nutrition label says you should. Your grocery cart is a ballot. Every tin you put in it is a vote for the kind of food safety standards you want on your shelves. Pick the brands that earn the trust. Stop handing your money to the ones gambling with your health and hoping you won't notice until after you've eaten the evidence. I'm Nathan Cross. Subscribe if you want more videos pulling back the curtain on what's really in the food you're buying. The next one is already in the works, and it's going to change the way you look at another grocery aisle entirely.